Spurs fans, the NBA draft is tomorrow and Thursday, second round Thursday. And we've talked at length about who the Spurs may draft in the first round, but we really haven't talked about the second round, and I think we should talk about some prospects before Thursday's second round draft.
Go, Spurs, go, 'cause the Giants stay.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. And yes, for those of you that don't know, the draft is 2 nights this year. First round, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, we'll be live on the channel with Miss TSR Sports and company. And then the second round, as far as I can tell, is 4 p.m. Eastern Thursday. Yeah, I don't know why they're... I got nothing. Second round picks. Saw this article from our friends over at Pounding the Rock, and I was like, you know what? We might not draft anybody in the second round. Who the heck knows? We have those 2 picks, but let me address the players that they're talking about. Give my 2 cents, of course, get your 2 cents. Let's just get into it. I'm rambling. San Antonio has the 35th and 48th picks in the second round. As many Spurs fans know, you can find gems in round 2. Manu Ginobili is living proof. Nikola Jokic also comes to mind, and many others. If the Spurs do make their selections in the second round, keep your eyes on the following players. First up, Dylan, you son of a Jones. 6'6" wing out of Weber State. Last season, he averaged about 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and with shooting splits of 49, 32, and 86. Of all the second-round prospects, Jones screams Spur. Okay, he's a versatile wing who has plenty of skill with the ball in his hands. Jones was the Big Sky's Player of the Year as a senior. Jones isn't a supreme athlete, but he's strong and has great awareness. He's 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. The knock on Jones is his three-point shot and his lack of above-the-rim athleticism. Jones would be a great fit with our Spurs. He'd give them a veteran college player who can create for himself and others. He can play off the ball spotting up and grab and go in transition. He reportedly worked out for the Spurs before the draft. Dylan Jones, I don't know a lot about him. Really don't know anything. This is actually my first time probably seeing the name, so Spurs fans, let me know. Is this a guy you would want in the second round? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Antonio Reeves, 6'4" guard out of Kentucky. Averaged 20 points per game, 4 rebounds, just under 2 assists. Shooting splits of 51, 45, and 86. And when I saw those shooting splits, I was like, this guy's not a first-round selection? Well, let's get into it. San Antonio needs shooting, and Reeves provides it in bunches. The 5th-year senior, so there you go, 5th-year senior, so he's going to be, what, 23 going to the season roughly? Was explosive for the Wildcats last season and has a long track record as a floor spacer. He worked out for the Spurs pre-draft. Reeves can shoot off movement off the bounce or the bounce. He has a nice floater, and he can get 2 if he's pushed. Man, I messed that sentence up. Reeves can shoot off movement or the bounce. He has a nice floater he can get 2 if he's pushed off the three-point line and displayed an ability to finish at the rim. So, does he suck at defense? You know, when I think of Kentucky, I just keep hearing Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham. I've heard Reeves, but for those of you that don't know, I don't watch a lot of college hoop. I watch a little bit when it comes to the NBA draft. I'm really focused on the lottery picks, at least right now, is where the Spurs are a lottery team as far as guys past the lottery, and especially in the second round. I'm oblivious to most of them. I do know some of the guys coming up, though. And speaking of guys I know, Tristan Newton, 6' guard out of UConn. Last season, he averaged 15 points per game, just under 7 rebounds, 6 assists, with shooting splits of 41, 32, and 81 for the defending NCAA champions, UConn Huskies. If the Spurs select Stephon Castle in the first round, perhaps they could also take his backcourt mate in the second? What? Okay. Newton was a starter on both of UConn's national championship teams and was a consensus All-American last year. At 6'5", Newton provides great size for the guard position and worked wonders as a pick-and-roll ball handler and distributor for the Huskies. Drafting players like Newton who won at a high level and know how to play in a heavy ball movement system makes a lot of sense for the Spurs. Of all the second-round choices, Newton feels like a safer bet to develop into a backup guard. Okay, so obviously I'm familiar with Tristan Newton. My girlfriend's a UConn fan, and I live in Connecticut, so I've heard the name. It would be weird if the Spurs drafted Castle and Newton, because Castle has clearly said he wants to play point guard. Would Newton be the assumed backup if both of them work out at their respective positions? If we draft Stephon Castle and he becomes a starting point guard for us, is this a perfect backup of former teammate on UConn? That would be interesting. The pecking order for point guards right now is Trey Jones, who is going to be a free agent after this season, and I could see him testing the free agency waters. Blake Wesley, who's shown promise but isn't the guy yet. And then Malachi Branham's listed as a point guard on Basketball Reference. He's not. He's a shooting guard. Yeah, it gets pretty thin after that. I mean, Devontae Graham, who I don't expect to stay on the team. So would it be crazy for the Spurs to draft the guy that wants to be a point guard and the guy that is a point guard? We've done crazier things. Now, this is a name I definitely know from you guys. Nikola Jursic. Please let me know if I'm saying that right. 6'7" wing at a KK Mega. Last season averaged 14 points, around 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting splits of 45, 33, and 74. The wing from Serbia, so he played with Nikola Topic, I believe. Yeah, I think he did. Is a versatile player with a high basketball IQ. So basketball IQ, something we like, right? At times he looked like a big shot-creating wing who can dish the ball. Other times he disappeared from Mega's games. For those of you that follow him, is this a player that you have concern? I mean, granted, second-round pick, you're taking a chance, so whatever, but still, is there some cause for concern there about a lack of effort, hustle, loyalty, respect? Good grief, TSR. Jursic has shown some ability to handle the ball in the pick and roll and create shots for himself on pull-up jumpers. He's a good athlete for his size and finishes well at the basket. Teams that believe in Jursic are betting on his shot creation and basketball IQ translating to the next level. Some of you have said you want to get him at 35, but lately I've been seeing mocks that have him going late first round, like late first round, so I don't know if he's going to be able at 35. Is he a player you'd want at 35? Let me know. Jamal Sheed, 6'1" guard out of Houston. Last season, 13 points, 6 assists, over 2 steals per game, shooting splits of 41, 31, and 78. With one of their second-round picks, the Spurs look to grab one of the best defensive players in the draft. Now, we have one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Some would say already the best defensive player in the NBA, in Victor Wembanyama. Do we go more defense? Are we going old-style Spurs with defense first? A defensive-minded team with Wemby. If they draft Stephon Castle, who should be a defensive beast, with somebody like Sheed, could they go in this direction? I don't know. Sheed is a defensive dog. He hounds ball handlers with a 4% steal rate last season. He was a consensus All-American in a back-to-back conference Defensive Player of the Year, one in the AAC and the other in the Big 12. He's able to get to the rim and finish with runners. He wasn't a great shooter at Houston, and he'll need to develop a jump shot if he wants to have a well-rounded offensive game. Sheed would give the Spurs, a tenacious defensive guard. Whoop, I'm off there. Can't quite see its ends. He would give the Spurs a tenacious defensive guard at the point of attack who can also distribute the ball off the bench. Yeah, do we take a chance with these defensive players like a Castle, like a Sheed, and try to develop the offense? You guys referenced Kawhi Leonard didn't have a great shot coming out of college, and granted, Chip England's no longer here. Did Chip work with Kawhi? I don't remember. I think he was. Yeah, I think so. Let me know. And the last one, Adam Bonar, which I can just see Freudian slipping into Boner very easily. 6'10" center out of UCLA. Last season, 12 points, 6 boards, about 2 blocks, shooting splits of 59-0 and 69. Okay. Bonar would give them a developmental big with one of the best motors in the draft. Interesting. Okay. Bonar is an undersized but hardworking center who defends the rim. He isn't as skilled as other bigs, and he won't provide any floor spacing. Nope, not with a 0% 3-point percentage. But he is one of the hardest working centers in the draft with great athleticism. He has a 40-inch vert. And I talk about him being a two-way rim finisher protector. Okay. With this athleticism and motor, Bonar feels like a worthwhile big man prospect who could become a rotation piece down the line. And that's the last of the players they talk about on Pounding the Rock. I will, of course, leave a link to this article in the comments so you can read all of it if you'd like. I don't see us taking 2 guys in the second round. I got to feel we trade one of those picks. We've recently had 2 picks and would draft one and then draft a player and do a trade for whether it was a cash or a future pick. We have 1 million second-round picks, I believe, next season. I see us drafting one guy. Who's the right guy? I don't know. This is one of those roll the dice where who do you think maybe you can develop the most? Out of all these guys, I personally have no favorite. I mean, whoever they draft, I'll be like, okay. I'm more concerned about us nailing picks 4 and 8 than pick number 35. And if we actually draft somebody, pick 48. Bronny James was not in the article. I know some of you have joked around, and I have done so too. If the Lakers don't pick Bronny at, do they have a second round pick? Or do they just have a first round pick? I don't remember. Whoever our pick, though, if we can snag Bronny before the Lakers, to hold him, kind of hold the Lakers hostage, if you will, and force them to trade some sort of asset from Bronny, because I think LeBron's staying with LA, and I could see any team doing that. Like, okay, Lakers are coming up in a few spots. We know they want Bronny, or more importantly, we know LeBron wants Bronny. Let's draft him, and I'm sure the Lakers will work something out with the team. I'm excited for the draft. I think we are going to use both picks 4 and 8. We've had a lot of rumors recently that we're going to draft or trade up to number 1 with both picks, maybe number 2. I think we're just going to roll the dice on 4 and 8, and I think it's going to be Castle, and I see a lot of people saying Castle, a lot of mock drafts saying Castle, probably Castle. Could we go Saloon in 8? I feel like it's going to be Wing in 8, and then in the second round, I think we use the 35th pick to probably draft one of the guys we just mentioned. So it's going to be fun. I don't know if I'm going to cover the second round. I probably will. At the very least, I'll do a reaction to the Spurs pick and or picks, but I don't know if I want to go live for the second round, but I believe the second round also goes quicker. There's less time in between picks. I think tomorrow night, is it 10 minutes or 8 minutes? And then second round, it's like 5 minutes. I know it's less. I'm excited for both. I mean, I'm just excited. I'm excited it's going to finally be here tomorrow night, and I'm really looking forward to, sharing that moment with you guys tomorrow and Miss TSR. And again, if a UConn player goes to the Spurs, if like Castle's drafted 4th, she's going to go nuts. I think I have the mic set that it doesn't blow out, but we'll find out, won't we? And a quick update for those of you that have stayed this long. I saw a therapist yesterday. Does not appear to be a torn rotator cuff. It is a tricep issue, which I kind of, Dr. MD, TSR, kind of figured that based on all the research I did. Might be a grade 2 tear, which means I might not need surgery. I'm going to try to rehab it over the next month, and hopefully I won't need anything stitched together. He was happy with a few things, not happy with a few others, so it seems like it's like 50-50. Could go this way or go that way. So fingers crossed all things work out. Appreciate all your support. Drop a comment down below. Out of any of those guys, which one stands out to you the most? Or is there somebody we haven't mentioned? I feel like there's a name. Is Ryan Dunn supposed to be a second-round pick? I feel like I've heard that name. I have heard that name on a lot on the channel. I have researched him. Or is he supposed to go in the first round? So who would you want, I guess, let me close on this, most with one of our second-round picks? Let's assume we're just taking one. Which guy would you want? And let's not try to stretch reality like, man, Zach Edey at 35. Look, I love Edey at 35 with a backup center. I know we have a lot of bigs, but Bassey's probably maybe done. Collins, I'm ready to move on. I don't see Edey dropping in the second round. So a player that's realistically available in the second round, who would you want? Would greatly appreciate the comment below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and why you want the player as well. Hit the thumbs up, like, support the channel, and subscribe to become part of our awesome San Antonio Spurs community. I thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow night for the draft, and as always, go Spurs go.
To Wembley.